Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In the last lecture, we have seen the connection oriented versus connection less service, right? Which is also known as the virtual circuit versus datagram subnet. That means connection oriented is known as virtual circuit, whereas the connection less is known as a datagram subnet. And the packets, right, in the network layer, the message is known as the packet, which consists of the two things: IP address of the source and the destination, plus the data which we want to send to the destination machine. Okay, so if we are using the datagram subnet, the packet is known as a datagram, whereas in the virtual circuit it is known as a packet only. Okay, but here the main difference between the connection oriented and the connection less service is what? In the virtual circuit, we have to first decide the path, right? Before sending any message, before performing any data transfer, we have to perform the connection establishment. That is choosing the particular path for sending the data, and all the packets will follow the same path. Once all the packets will be sent, we have to terminate the connection. So there are the three phases in the virtual circuit. Before performing the data transfer, we have to perform the connection establishment, and after that we have to perform connection termination, right? Whereas in the datagram there is nothing like that. We do not need to perform any connection establishment. We can directly send the data individually in the datagram subnet. They can choose any random path and they have to be delivered on the destination machine. Okay, so here let's see the difference between these two services: datagram subnet and the virtual circuit subnet. Okay, so here first issue is what? Circuit setup. So as I said, there is no need to set up any circuit into datagram subnet because there is no need of choosing the particular path, right? And all the packets has to follow the same path. There is no need in that particular datagram subnet. Whereas in the virtual circuit subnet, we have to first setting up the circuit. That means we have to establish the path. That is called the circuit setup. Second issue is what? Addressing. So here in the datagram subnet, every packet will contain the full source address and the full destination address, whereas in this virtual circuit subnet, along with the source and destination address, we have to add one more thing, that is the virtual circuit number. There may be multiple paths from the source to destination. So if you are choosing the path number one, that will become what? Virtual circuit number one. It is not always the case that path number will be the virtual circuit number. Connection number is what? Virtual circuit number. Okay, so if there is a source and there is a destination, and if I want to send a message from the source to destination, so if I'm choosing a particular path, I'm giving the connection number one. If any another host is coming who wants to send the data to the same destination host, so करसे एक of connection number one आज आपसे, but router will change the entry. That means router શું કરશે? connection number change કરી દેશે, because for that particular router the connection numbers are same even if there are two different hosts. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right, I guess connection issue though. Okay, fine. So here, as I said, if okay, let me show you here. We are having two hosts, host one and host three. Okay, and there is a host on the another network. Suppose host one want to send a message to the host two. So say it is going to send a packet to the nearest router, that is router E. So what it will do, along with the message, it is going to add the virtual circuit number. So for this particular host, there is a first connection. Okay, so it is going to add the connection number as one. As you can see, the first entry. Okay, this is the first entry. So it is going to use the virtual circuit number one because for this particular host, it is the first connection. Okay, now here the routing table of A, Maso House, it is going to send this message to the nearest router, that is C. For example, they have chosen the path A, C, E, F, and then host 2. That is the particular path. Okay, before sending the data, we have to choose the path. For example, that path is A, C, E, and F. If the message is to be sent to the host 2 from the host 1, so it will send a message to the router A. Okay, first, so it is going to use the connection number 1 because for this host 1 first connection is there, right? Now the A is going to send that message to the router C. So it is going to use the same connection. Then C is going to send the message to E. So it is the same connection, and E is going to send the message to the F. So it is going to send using the same connection number. Now, for example, host 3 also want to send a message to host 2. Okay, host 1 and host 3 બંને same destination machine ને send કરે છે. So again here for the host 3 it is the first connection. So what it is going to do, it is going to use the connection number 1, virtual circuit number 1. Okay, but here for the router already connection number 1 is already used, right? Because it is for the host number 1. So it is going to change the connection number. Why? Because if there is any response is going to be sent from the host 2, right? For example, host 2 is going to send a reply to the host 3. તો શું કરશે? એ પણ એક મેસેજ બનાવશે, right? અને એ પણ શું કરશે? Actually host connection number 1 જ use કરશે. But connection number 1 use થાય તો શું થશે? Whenever the reply is going to be sent for this router A, જ્યારે message forward થઈને આવશે A પાસે, so AE will not be able to identify whether this message is for the host 1 or host 3 because both are using the same connection number. Okay, and that is why this particular router A is going to change this connection number. બરાબર, ભલે host 3 connection number use 1 use કરે, but the router A is going to change the connection number. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so along with the destination address and the source address, we have to add one more thing that is called the connection number. That is a virtual circuit number. Virtual circuit is nothing but the entire path. That is called the circuit. We have to use this circuit only, and within this circuit all the message is going to be passed. Okay, so here it contains the short virtual circuit number as well. Okay, third is the state information. As the datagram subnet is not using any virtual circuit, so do not need to hold any state information about the connection that is virtual circuit. Okay, whereas here we have to maintain the information regarding that connection. Okay, every virtual circuit requires a router table space per connection. So for each and every router there is an entry for the virtual circuit, and we have to manage this information. Okay, then next is the routing. Okay, so here every packet is routed independently. That is, they do not need to use the same path. They can take any path, but the message is to be sent to the destination machine. Whereas in the virtual circuit, all the packets are using the same path. Okay, जब आप virtual circuit select करिए से each path they are going to consider. Okay, then the effect of the router failure is one of the issue. That means if there is a path, right, from source to destination, and if one of the router gets fail or the link gets fail, then what happen in the virtual circuit? In the virtual circuit subnet, all the virtual circuits that are passing through that failed router is going to be terminated because they have chosen the path, and વચ્ચેનો કોઈ router fail થઈ ગયું, so they cannot send the data to the destination machine. So any router that gets failed, so all the virtual circuits that are passing through that particular failed router is going to be terminated. Whereas there is no effect into the datagram subnet, because if one router gets failed, we can choose another path because there is no need of setting up the path into the datagram subnet. Okay, so there will be no effect of the router failure. Okay, then next is the quality of the service. Okay, so it is difficult to identify in the datagram subnet, whereas it is easy. Why? Because only few resources are needed for setting up the path. Whereas here in the datagram subnet, every router, every packet is going to be used different path. Okay, so it is obviously what could be this quality that we cannot be able to identify. Whether it will be, that means it becomes difficult to identify the quality of that particular service. Whether the machine, whether the destination machine is going to be receive all the packets or not, that cannot be identified. Sometimes it may happen that some of the packets will be received, whereas some may not be received, or all the packets will be received but not in this short amount of the time, because all are using the different part. Some packets may be delivered in the short amount of the time, whereas some may be delivered in the after some time, and obviously, and it will become difficult. Okay, And the last issue is the congestion control. Congestion is nothing but the traffic. Okay, so here it is difficult. We cannot control the traffic if you are using the datagram subnet, because we are not using the particular path, right? Whereas here in the virtual circuit, as we have selected the chosen path, and if as we have already chosen one particular path, every message is going to be sent using that particular path. So obviously there will not be any traffic. Barabar? There will be sent only one by one, right? One after another. So obviously there will be no traffic. Okay, in the virtual circuit. Whereas here in the datagram path, every packet is going to use a different path. So it may be possible that the messages from the different networks are arriving at the particular router, same router. So at that particular router, the congestion will be there. So we will not be able to control the traffic if there are messages are flooding to that particular router. Okay, so it will become the difficult in the datagram subnet. Whereas in the virtual circuit, it is easy. Okay, next topic is the delivery of the packets. So as we know, the network layer no kaam શું છે, messages to be sent, or you can say packets to be sent from the source to destination. Host to host delivery is the main task of the network layer. So network layer શું કરશે? It will supervise how the packet is being handled by the underlying layers. That is, underlying layer means data link layer, right? Or you can say physical layer. So how this layer is handling this packet, that task is also done by the network layer, and this particular duty is known as the delivery of the packets. So there are two types of the delivery: direct delivery of the packets and the indirect delivery of the packets. So as the name says, the direct delivery must have, see here, this is the host. Okay, there are two hosts in the same network. So here this source and the destination machine, or you can say the source and, or you can say the particular machine that is delivering the packet to the destination machine are in the same physical network. So you can say in the direct delivery, the destination host and the one who delivers the packets are in the same physical network. So here, as we know, or you can say if there is a single network in which there are multiple hosts are there, so obviously all are using the same network. So the data delivery will be what? Direct delivery. Okay, so આપણને વચ્ચે કોઈ indirect or you can say intermediate router ની જરૂર નહીં પડશે for sending any packet. Whereas as you can see, this is the rest of the internet. The internet means network of the networks. There will be the multiple networks are there in the network internet, right? So here this is called the direct delivery, but here if any message is coming from the internet, so here it will be called the indirect delivery. Okay, because the machine in the internet and this host, they are not in the same network. Okay, so that is the main thing. The one who is delivering the packet and the destination host is in the same physical network in direct delivery, whereas in the indirect delivery, they are not in the same network. Okay, so for delivering any packet, what we are going to use the network address. Okay, so for each and every network, we have the different, we have unique network address. That is the first IP address that represent what? Network address. And along with the network address, what we are using? Subnet mask. And from that, we will be able to identify which particular host is there to which we want to send the data. So as the sender can extract the network address of the destination using the subnet mask, then it will compare that particular address, that is network address, with the addresses of the networks to which it is connected. If two addresses are identical, or we can say they are same, then the delivery is direct. So here, for example, this router. Okay, this particular router is connected to multiple networks. That is, as you can see, this is the network 1, and here it is a rest of the internet. So internet will be having the multiple network. So for this particular router, there is a routing table. Right, routing table માં બે વસ્તુ હશે, destination અને કોને આપણે forward કરવાનું છે. Right, so here there will be the multiple entry for the multiple networks. So, right, so if any message is arriving, right, with the destination IP address, so શું કરશે? Destination IP address હશે અને સામેનો subnet mask હશે. Subnet mask use થી શું કરશે? Network address એને find થશે. As we have already seen the IP address examples, કે આપણે કેવી રીતે network address find કરી શકીએ. If you are given any destination address, okay, and we have the entry into the routing table for the subnet mask, suppose destination address and a subnet mask વચ્ચે logical AND operation execute કરીએ છીએ, and whatever answer we are getting will be what? Network address. So that network address, જે પણ result મળશે, that will be matched into the routing table. If it is matched with one of the entry, then we can say it is a direct delivery. Okay, because router is can be connected to the multiple networks. It is directly connected. Right. So if both are same, so we can say they are in the same network, and it is called the direct delivery. Okay, in the indirect delivery, as I said, the sender host and the destination host are not the part of the same physical network, as you can see in the figure. Okay, in this situation, the packet will travel from one router to another router, and finally, the last router is going to deliver to the destination machine. So obviously, indirect delivery will involve one direct delivery, and it can be zero or more indirect deliveries, and the last delivery will always be the direct deliveries. As you can see here in the figure, this is the source device and it is the destination device. Source machine want to send a message to the destination machine. Obviously it cannot send like this directly, send nothing because there is no direct connection. Okay, so it has to go through the intermediate router. So it is going to pass to this particular router, and this router is going to send the message to this destination host, because this router is connecting to two networks. It is connecting to this network 1 and it is the network 2. So through this particular router, we can connect two or more networks. So this router is connecting to two different networks. Okay, network 1 in the source machine chain and network 2 in the destination machine chain. So here, this is called the indirect delivery, because for this host, the destination is what? Is in the another network. So it is obviously indirect delivery, but this router and this destination network will involve what? Direct delivery, because this router is connected to this destination, which are both devices are into the same network. So it is direct delivery. So obviously the last router hase, the destination machine jode connect થયો હશે, that will involve the direct delivery. એ સિવાયના વચ્ચે કેટલા પણ router હશે, right? જેટલા પણ હશે, for example, this is the host. In between, we are having router 1, router 2, router 3, and router 4. So all this will be called the indirect delivery. But the it will be called indirect delivery. But the last one will be what? Direct delivery, because this destination machine and this router is in the same network. બાકીના બધા શું હશે? network obviously they are in the different network. બાકીના બધા router શું હશે? different network માં હશે. So that is called the indirect delivery. Simple છે એકદમ, right? If both devices are in the same network, it is called the direct delivery. If the devices are in the different network, then it is called the indirect delivery of the packets. And it is the task of the network layer to supervise this activity. And duty is known as the delivery of the packets. Next is the forwarding. Okay, so it is quite important. Okay, forwarding means it is the process of placing the packets in its route towards the destination. Okay, and forwarding is possible only if the host and the router have the routing table of their own. So as we know, from the source to the destination, there will be multiple paths. Multiple routes are there. So we have to select one optimal path. Optimal path means the shortest path from source to destination. Okay, for example, here we are having this source machine, we are having this destination machine. In between, there will be multiple routers are there. Okay, multiple routers are there. I'm just showing one example. For example, I have a chair. Okay, so we can stand like this also. So we have to choose the best possible path from source to the destination. Okay, it may be possible that this router is connected with this router also. So we can send from this and then also, right? So here, what happens whenever we select the path? આપણે એક path select કરી દીધો. For example, I am choosing which path? This one. First this, then this, and this. So what I'm doing, I am just forwarding my packet from this device to next device. This device will send, or you can say forward the packet to the next device, and this packet will finally deliver the packets to the last destination device. So forwarding is nothing but we are placing the packets in its route. In its route. And this is the route. Okay, from this source to destination, this is the particular route. And we are just moving the packets into this route, and that process is known as the forwarding. Forwarding means next con that next machine so we are just passing the packets, we are jumping the packets from intermediate routers, and that process is known as the forwarding. Okay, so forwarding is only possible if the host, source machine, and the intermediate routers is going to have their own routing table, because they are going to use this routing table for forwarding the packets. Because એને ખબર હોવા જોઈએ if this is my destination host, તમારે કોને forward કરવાનો છે. Okay, so for every devices are requiring this routing table of their own, and based on the routing table they are going to consider the uh, intermediate node. Okay, so here the sender machine or the router will refer to the routing table when it receives the packet from the from the previous node, and from that table they will be able to identify the route to the final destination. But this simple solution has some issues, or you can say some practical problems in over the internet. Okay, due to the large number of the entries into the routing table. So obviously we are having the routing table, and in there will be the multiple entries, because the internet consists of the network of the networks, right? There will be the huge number of the networks are there, and for each and every networks we are having the entry into the routing table. So obviously it will become difficult, or you can say practically it is become impossible for the router to handle the situation. But even though we are having this kind of the problems, many techniques have been invented, and in order to make the size of the routing table manageable. And some of the techniques are root method versus the next hop method. Second is the host specific method versus the network specific method, and last is the default method. Okay, so these are the forwarding techniques. So first, if we consider the first method, root method versus the next hop method, then what is the main difference between these two methods? See here, as you can see in the figure, this root method is the basic method, right? Ekdam basic method है. As the name says, so this method involves the information about the complete route from source to destination in the routing table. So as I said, every router, or you can say the host machine, require the routing table. So if you consider the routing method, okay, first method, that is root method. So if you see here, the host A is there, and for the host A, for example, host B is the destination machine. So you can see here the routing table of the host A in the root method, right? This is the root method, this is the next hoop method. Just forget this. First one consider karo root method. The root method માં શું કરશો આપણે? For every destination machine we are going to store entire route information. That means we have to store the route information, complete information about the entire route. Okay, so as you can see, for the host A, host B is the destination. If I want to send a message to the host B, I have to store the entire route. That is, first I have to send to the router A, then router 1, then router 2, then the host B. So as you can see here, we have to store the IP address of the router 1, IP address of the router 2, and the IP address of the host B. Okay, we have to store the entire information, and you can see the complete information about the entire route into the routing table. Similarly, if you see here the router 1, the complete information will be what? Router 2 and host B. If the router 1 is there, for this router 1, we are having the host B as a destination machine. My router 1 thi host B ne message send karwano છે. So obviously I have to store the entire information. That is, first I will send the message to the router 2 and then the host B, as you can see in the figure. Router 2, then the host B. And for the host B, there is no need to send no need to store anything, because host B માટે destination machine પણ host B હશે. So obviously there is only one entry, that is the destination address, okay, or IP address of the host B only. So in the root method, as the name says, we have to store the complete information about the route. Whereas in the next root method, so your main problem is that if we are going to store the complete information into the routing table, so obviously there will be it will become what? A routing table will be extremely large. Our routing table is space પણ વધારે જોશે, because it is going to use the more information, right? And it will become difficult to manage for that particular router. Okay, obviously space complexity will be increased in that particular case, because we are going to store every information about the route, complete route. So obviously it will become the difficult for the router to manage these entries. Okay, so in order to reduce the size of the routing table, we have the another method that is called the next hop method. Okay, so next hop method માં શું કરશું? As you can see in the figure, the routing table will contain only the address of the next hop rather than the entire route. Okay, so if for the router A, sorry, for the host A, destination machine is the host B. So it has to just forward the message to the router 1. That is it. No need to send or no need to store the information about the complete route. હવે શું કરશો, મારી if I'm having the host A, મારે મેસેજ સેન્ડ કરવાનો છે host B ને, રાઈટ? હવે મેં આખું રૂટ ઇન્ફોર્મેશન સ્ટોર નહીં કરીશ, મેં ખાલી જોઈશ કે મારે નેક્સ્ટ કોને આપવાનો છે એનો ખાલી IP એડ્રેસ નાખી દઈશ in the routing table. So for the host B, if the destination is the host B, just store the IP address of the router 1 because it is the nearest router. For the router 1, you have to just store the IP address of the router 2. That is it. And for the router 2, it is directly connected to the host B. There is no need to store any information about the host B because next hop means कि next हमारा router कई use करवानो है, nothing. For the router 2, I am not going to use another router. That is why here there is no entry in the next hop. Next hop means next router. Okay, hop means jump. हमारे कोना पर jump करवानो है next. Okay, so that is what the root method versus the next hop method. Okay, so obviously we are going to use the next hop method because it is going to reduce the size of the routing table. Next is the host specific versus the network specific method. હવે મેં શું કર્યું, next hop method તો consider કરી દીધી, પણ મારી પાસે બીજો ઓપ્શન આવી ગયા હવે, host specific method versus the network specific method. So as the name says, host specific. So એમાં શું હશે, the routing table of the host or the router will specify each destination host which is connected to the same physical network. So this will increase the number of entries in the routing table and it will make it very large. For example, here as you can see, it is the host specific method. Okay, so this is the host S which is connected into the network 1, whereas we are having the another network 2 in which there are the multiple machines are there which is connected in the network 2. So for the host S, if you are using only the next hop, मारे कौन send करना, if even though if the destination machine is B or the destination machine is D, they are connected using the router 1, right? So what I am doing, I am making individual entries into the routing table for this host S. The host S na potana routing table માં કેટલી entries છે? Multiple entries. Even though they are in the different network, they are making the individual entries and they are using only the same. But we are using the same, sorry. Okay, we are using the same IP address, that is IP address of the router 1. Okay, so here what happens, if we have here 100 machines are there, મારી પાસે 100 machine છે network 2 ની અંદર, તમારી અહીંયા entry કેટલી થશે? 100. So obviously the routing table ની size શું થશે? Increase થશે. અને જેમ increase થશે તેમ for that particular router or the machine, it will become difficult to manage, right? So we have the another method that is called the network specific method. So instead of listing the different entries, individual entries, we are going to use only single entry, that is the network 2, right? Also you are identified by their network address. So for example, this network is having its own unique ID, this network is going to have its own unique ID. Okay, so we are just going to use the IP address, that is the first address of the network. So જેટલા પણ network હશે એનો ખાલી network address ખાલી store કરો into the routing table. Obviously we are going to use the same router 1, then routing IP address use કરો. Okay, so here rather than mentioning individual entry, we are just using the single entry and this single entry will correspond to destination network. All of you getting? ખબર પડે છે બધાને? Okay, so from this we are going to use the next hop method and in the second one we are going to use the network specific method because it is going to reduce the size of the routing table. જેટલું size નાનો હશે routing table, obviously it will be easy, right? It will become easier for the router to manage the routing table. Decision લેતી વખતે પણ સારું થશે. Rather than checking for each and every entry, it has to there will be less number of the entries, અમારે એટલી complex. And the last method છે આપણી પાસે default. Okay, so This is one more method of simplifying the routing table. My routing table simplify karu hoy, then I'm having this or one more method. Okay, so as you can see the figure, in which the sending host A is connected to the network with the two routers, router 1 and a router 2. That means this host A is in the network 1. But this network 1 is connected with the two different router, router 1 and a router 2. Okay, so router 1 routes the packets to the host which are connected into the network 2. Network 2 ની અંદર જેટલા પણ મશીન હશે, right? મારે આમાંથી કોઈ બી મશીનને ખાલી સેન્ડ કરવો હશે મેસેજ. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ there are multiple machines are there here in the network 2. મારે પર્ટિક્યુલર આ મશીનને મેસેજ સેન્ડ કરવો છે from the host A. I am going to use the network specific method. That is, I am going to use the network address of this network 2. I will just forward this message to the router 1 according to this first network 2 and router 1. Okay, so this network 2 is for the all the device. This is a private network, for example, right? So I am making this entry here, but internet means here router 2 is for the rest of the internet. So as you know, the internet is network of the network. So અહીંયા એક network હશે, અહીંયા એક network હશે, અહીંયા એક network હશે, right? એ બધાને combine કરીને મારી પાસે એક network હશે. That is called the internet. Right? Network of networks is called the internet. So this is called the internet. This is the network 1, network 2, network 3. So there may be 100 networks are there or more than the 100. There will be millions of the networks are possible in the internet. So obviously mentioning of each and every individual network specific માં આપણે શું કરતા હતા, બધા નેટવર્કનો એડ્રેસ સ્ટોર કરતા હતા in the routing table. So ઇન્ટરનેટની અંદર તો બહુ બધા નેટવર્ક હોઈ શકે, right? So rather than mentioning all the networks, rather than mentioning the IP address of the every network, we are just going to use the single entry that is called the default entry. For the internet, we are going to use here 0.0.0.0. And if there is an internet, if you want to send a message to the rest of the internet, then we are going to use the router 2. Okay, so that it will reduce the size of the routing table. Okay, this network 2 is the private. For example, it is private. Or for example, I am having this particular entire network, right? मैंने બે ભાગમાં divide કર્યું છે, subnetting. So this is called the subnet 1. This is called the subnet 2. So मैं subnet 2 માટે એક અલગથી એન્ટ્રી કરી છે અને બાકીના બધા નેટવર્ક જે આખા નેટવર્ક આખું એક નેટવર્ક છે એની બહારનું જે નેટવર્ક છે એના માટે મેં ખાલી સિંગલ ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલ એન્ટ્રી એક જ એન્ટ્રી કરી છે. That is called the internet entry. Now you can say default entry with the IP address. Any other લખવું છે તો IP address શું હશે 0.0.0.0. અને જ્યારે મારા ડેસ્ટિનેશન મશીન કોઈ પણ હશે apart from this network, then we are going to use the router 2. We have to forward the message to the router 2. That is it. Okay. Next is the router. Okay, so one more thing here in this routing table, along with this destination address and the next of address, we have to add one more thing that is called the subnet mask. Because using the subnet mask, we will be able to identify what the first IP address. Right now, okay, as we know, right now we are using the classless addressing. So in the classless addressing, what happened, there is IP address ની અંદર એવું કોઈ પાર્ટ નથી જે બે પાર્ટમાં ડિવાઇડ થયું હોય, that is network ID and host ID. Okay, so here in the classless addressing, we are using the block ID and the host ID. And the block ID માં જે first address હશે, that will be called the block address. Okay, so here to identify the block address, we have to use the subnet mask. So along with this destination and the next hop, we have to add one more column into the routing table, that is for the subnet mask. And there is also one more column that is called the interface. So here, as you can see, this network is connected to two different network. It is two different router 1 and a router 2. For example, this router is connected to different network. For example, right? This router is connected to another net. So this is called the interface A, interface B, for and interface C. So here we have to mention along with this router 1 which interface we are using. So here it will be interface B, because we want to send a message to the network 2, and for that interface is B. Okay, for router 1 there will be multiple interface, and we have to here mention the interface also. Okay, so along with this destination next hop interface, we have to add one more, that is called the subnet mask. Okay, for particular network में कोई subnet mask use करूँ छे, that also we need to store. Okay, next is the router. Okay, this is the last topic that I'm going to teach you today. So routers are nothing but the devices that connects two or more networks as shown in the figure. જ્યારે મારે બે કાં તો બે થી વધારે નેટવર્ક્સ ને જોઈન કરવા હોય, રાઈટ, કનેક્ટ કરવા હોય, then we need a device and that device is called the router. So the router can have the combination of the hardware and the software. It's not always the case that a router ખાલી hardware hardware and the software પણ install કરવા પડે, right? So if I talk about the hardware, so hardware can be in the form of the network server, or it can be the special computer, or you can say it can be special device, as well as the physical interface to the various networks it is connecting, right, in the internet. And the various type of the networks can be interconnected through the routers, as you can show, as you can see in the figure, right? And software can be the operating system inside the router. In the particular router, I have to install some operating system, so that can be the software, right? Or the software can be the routing protocol, right? The protocol is nothing but the set of the rules that every device has to follow for the particular layer. So network layer na potana rules hoy, transport layer na potana rules hoy. Every network is going to have their own rules, and these rules are known as protocols. Okay, so protocols means set of the algorithms. Algorithm is set of the instruction, and a combination of all the instruction is known as a program, and program is nothing but the software. Okay, so software in the router can be the operating system, or it can be the routing protocol, and the management software can also be used for managing the routing table of the routers. Okay, so router use the logical as well as the physical addressing. Okay, so as I said, router can use both logical as well as the physical addresses. Logical means the IP address, physical means the MAC address. So you can say that 12-digit number which is written on the network interface card on every device. So that is called the physical address. Logical address can be changed, whereas the physical address we cannot change because it is given by the our device manufacturer. Whereas the logical address, that is IP address, can change, but that IP address should not be available on the internet. It should be unique, but we can change the IP address. For example, અત્યારે મારા ડિવાઇસનો IP address 10.0.1.40, મારે ને ચેન્જ કરીને 44 કરવું હોય તો કરી શકું, but 44 ઓલરેડી ઇન્ટરનેટ પર અવેલેબલ નહીં હોવા જોઈએ. That is it. Okay, અને સેમ નેટવર્કની અંદર મારે બિલોંગ કરવા જોઈએ. That means if I'm having this particular network, this is my network, right? Now, for example, IP address 10.0.0.0, right? In this network we are having the multiple devices, right? So બધા device પોતાનો IP address હશે. For example, this is my device whose IP address is .43, 10.0.0.43, right? મારે ચેન્જ કરીને 44 કરવું છે, પણ મારે આટલો પોર્શન તો સેમ જ રાખવો પડશે. For example, it is a block ID, so I cannot change, right? So I can change from 43 to 44 only if one of the devices into this network is not having the IP address 44. अगर already 44 હશે તે મને લોકેટ નહીં કરવા દેશે 44, right? So we can change the logical address, but we cannot change the physical address. બધા ડિવાઇસનો પોતાનો physical address હશે જ. Right now, as you can see in the figure, I'm having the large network which I have divided into the small network which is called the subnet. For example, this is subnet 1, right, in which I'm using the ring. This is subnet 2, for that I'm using the topology bus. This is another subnet, this is another subnet, this is another subnet, and it is an entire network. મેં મારા આખા નેટવર્કને different subnet માં divide કર્યું છે, and these subnets are now interconnected via the routers. As you can see, મારે બે સબનેટને જોઈન કરવું હોય તો મેં અહીંયા વચ્ચે પર્ટિક્યુલર રાઉટર યુઝ કર્યું છે. સિમિલરલી આ બે નેટવર્કને જોઈન કરવા માટે આ રાઉટર યુઝ કર્યું છે, and so on. So to interconnect these subnets, I'm choosing what? I'm using routers. રાઉટરનો મેઇન પર્પસ શું છે? 2 or more than 2 networks ને મારે કનેક્ટ કરવું હોય, then I'm going to use the router. So here to connect the subnets also we can use the router. So as we know, each and every subnet is given the logical address. बराबर हमारा एक particular subnet identify करूँ होय, then that particular subnet is going to have the subnet address. And to identify the subnet address, we are going to use the subnet mask. Okay, but still we can access each and every subnet using this router. So data is grouped into the packets, or you can say block of the data, and each packet has the physical device address that is called the MAC address, as well as the logical address. As we know, every message that is to be sent, which is coming from the application, જ્યારે મારે sending procedure હશે, then I'm using what, top to bottom. So message is coming from the application layer, then the transport layer, then the network layer, then the data link layer, then the physical layer. So if this is a message that I want to send, right, so that will be the group of bits. It will be zeros and one. So that message is coming from the transport layer, right? So network layer so say it is going to add one more thing that is called the header, which consists of the source IP address and the destination IP address, and this entire thing is known as a packet. Okay, now this packet will be given to the underlying layer that is called the data link layer. So for the data link layer, this entire thing will be called the data. It is also going to add one more thing that is called the header. In the header, it is going to put the physical address of the sender and the physical address of the receiver. And this is known as, entire thing is known as a frame. In the data link layer, message is known as a frame. In the network layer, it is known as a packet. So along with this header, it is also adding one more thing that is called the tail portion of this entire packet, that is called the which consists of the checksum. And checksum શેના માટે યુઝ થાય? એરર ડિટેક્શન અને એરર રિકવરી માટે, રાઈટ? કોઈ zeros and one alternate થઈ ગયા હોય, then we can say there will be corrupted data. Okay, because there is alteration of the zeros and one, and it is not forming the original message. Okay, so in order to check whether there is an error or not, we are going to add the checksum. कौन add करશે? Data link layer. Okay, so this entire thing is known as the frame. Okay, so network address allows the router to calculate the optimal path for that destination computer or destination workstation, and the route display is the process of finding the possible routes through the internet. There may be the multiple routes from source to destination. मारे particular route ने select करवाना हो, that process is known as the routing. Okay, so based on this, the router is going to build the routing table to show this information, and there are two type of the routing discovery, that is called the distance vector routing and the link state routing. So કોઈ પણ router હશે, right, any router પોતાનું routing table build કરવા માટે બેમાંથી કોઈ પણ એક જ method use કરશે, that is called the distance vector routing or the link state routing, that we will see in the next lecture. Right, distance vector routing માં actually શું થશે? જે પણ router હશે પોતાનો જે routing table હશે, right, it will send periodically to each and every router on the internet, અને બધા શું કરશે? એના પરથી પોતાનો routing table update કરશે. Whereas in the link state routing, they are not sending their routing table to that is on the particular periodically, or you can say periodically send nahi karse, at startup stage must send karse, or you can say at certain interval they are going to send their routing table to the rest of the routers over the internet, and based on that they are going to update the routing table if there is a congestion on the network. So if there is a traffic, obviously all the routers has to modify their routing table. Okay, and for that they have to communicate with the neighboring routers, and based on that they are going to update their information into the routing table. Okay, but they are going to use either the distance vector or they are going to use the link state router. Okay, so now routing is a topic that I'm going to teach you in the next lecture, because હવે ભણાવીશ તો બહુ બધું વધારે થઈ જશે, right? और ખાલી તમને what is the static and routing, static and dynamic ઉપર ઉપરથી કરાવી દઉં. So as I say, router consists of the routing table. So routing table consists of the entry for each and every destination, or it can be the combination of the destination networks, right? The routing tables can be of the two types, static routing table and dynamic routing table. જે પણ routing table હશે router માટેના બે ટાઈપના હોઈ શકે, ક્યાં તો static હશે ક્યાં તો dynamic હશે. અગર જે static હશે, right, the information in the static routing table is entered manual. That is, એક તમારા network માટે તમે નેટવર્ક એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેટર રાખ્યો હશે. નેટવર્ક એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેટર શું કરશે? રાઉટિંગ ટેબલ ની અંદર મેન્યુઅલી એન્ટ્રી કરશે for each and every network, right? So obviously if there are multiple networks are there, so for the particular administrator it becomes a tedious task because it has to enter the information manually, right? So route of the packets to each destination is done or entered manually by the network administrator. So routing table cannot get updated automatically in this static routing table because we have the administrator who is going to maintain the routing table. So if there's a change in the network topology or any condition, then we have to modify the routing table. So this modification will not be done automatically in the static routing table. It has to be done by the administrator, and that is why it is useful only for the small networks. જ્યારે મારી પાસે small network હશે ત્યારે શું use કરીશ? static routing table, right? Otherwise I'm going to use the dynamic routing table. Dynamic routing table માં શું હશે? Obviously it is opposite from the static routing table, right? So it is getting updated automatically itself by using the routing protocol. So for each and every router we are going to the routing algorithms, and this routing algorithm is going to follow some routing protocol, for example RIP, OSPF, BGP, right? Routing information protocol, open shortest path first protocol, and the border gateway protocol that we will see in the detail in the next coming lectures. And using this protocol, this routing table gets automatically updated by their own. That means they're going to communicate with each other and they're gathering some information, and accordingly they are going to update their information into their own routing table whenever there is a change in the network condition. Okay, so this kind of the routing table can be used for the large network, right? And they are also known as adapting because they're adapting this ability, right, of changing the routing table. So each and every router continuously check the network status by communicating with their neighbors, and if any change is identified, it will be eventually propagated to all the routers because they're communicating with each other. The neighboring routers periodically they're going to communicate, and if there is any change, then they are going to update, and that information will be propagated over the internet. Okay, and based on this information gathered, each router will compute the suitable path for the destination. Okay, but here the disadvantage of the dynamic routing table is what? The complexity in the route. Okay, so that is the routing tables and the routing algorithms. Right, routing algorithms are also the two types, static and dynamic. Static means following this, dynamic algorithm is going to follow these rules. Okay, next we are going to see in the next lecture properties of algorithm and unicast routing and so on.